Welcome back to Red Underwear Billings Confidential Podcast, the only underground voice bringing you real stories straight from the streets of Billings, Montana. Tonight, we're covering one of the most disturbing accounts we've heard in months. A story that twists friendship, betrayal, violence, and survival into one long night of chaos, the night Payton nearly lost his life. It started simply enough. Payton, emotionally shaken from a recent breakup, was walking alone down State Avenue in Billings. Vulnerable and looking for distraction, he encountered a silver Ford Expedition, familiar faces inside, people he thought he could trust. They offered him a ride and a few drinks. Looking for relief, took the offer. He climbed in, and that was the beginning of what would become his greatest mistake. They drove to a residence near a Southside park. Once inside, the tone changed. Payton was attacked by four men, one wielding brass knuckles, another with a pistol. The accusation? Snitching. And behind the beatdown, names began to surface. The infamous Jacob and Nathan Haskins. The kind of names that ring out in hushed tones across the South Side. After the brutal beating, Payton was stripped and tied to a bed. It gets worse. The attackers FaceTimed none other than Jacob Haskins himself. The message? We found the rat of Billings, Montana. Jacob, receiving the call, reportedly stayed calm, but inside, the rage brewed. On the FaceTime were several others: Ronald, Christopher Crable, Macy Whiteley, and two unnamed individuals. Haskins, ignoring warnings from his own mother, "Don't go, or you'll be next to be stripped down," grabbed a machete and jumped into his VW Jetta, gunning the engine and flying across town at over 100 miles per hour. He arrived at 5112 Laurel Avenue, where he was met by a blond male holding a revolver who claimed Payton got away. Jacob didn't buy it. Determined, and with a weapon pointed back at him, Jacob allegedly said the now infamous words, "I'm going in your house one way or another, even if it's in blood." What followed was a violent confrontation. Jacob was left bleeding heavily from the face, but still pushed through the chaos. He forced his way inside the house for a full search. No sign of Payton. The tension peaked. Christopher Crable, now reportedly nervous, asked if Haskins was carrying. Jacob gave no answer. With no target in sight, he left the residence and began a frantic search through a men's park. Again, no luck. Then came the breakthrough. Jacob raced across town to Hamm's home. Inside, he found him. Stab wounds, swollen purple eyes, barely conscious. Payton was clinging to life. Jacob, the very man supposedly hunting him, rushed him to the hospital. Now, listeners, we're left with more questions than answers. Was Jacob truly seeking revenge, or was he trying to rescue an old friend from a setup gone wrong? Why was Payton targeted? Was he really a rat, or just caught in a violent web of paranoia and street politics? And most importantly, is it over? For now, both and Jacob are recovering, but tensions remain high. Is there retaliation brewing in the shadows of Billings? We'll stay on this story and bring you updates as soon as they emerge from the dark corners of Montana's Magic City. This has been Red Underwear Billings Confidential Podcast. Stay alert, stay safe, and stay listening.